this video here is going to be some old videos I did some time ago that I've just had laying around, and I'm just going to snippet them together and put together a video with some other information, other things I've done before. Not much in here as far as lengthwise goes, but there's some lessons to be learned of different engine codes and vacuum leaks and things of that nature in this one. So go ahead and enjoy this video. Don't forget to drop a like, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Alright, let's get on with the video. Okay, we are going to clean the mass airflow sensor today. We've got a code on the check engine that says we're getting unmetered airflow into the engine. That could be anything from a major vacuum leak to mass airflow sensor being dirty to not enough fuel for the air, which could be a clogged fuel filter. It could be all kinds of different things. So far I haven't found any vacuum leaks in here. The trick to finding the vacuum leaks is by taking starting fluid and with the engine running, spray it on the bank that the code tells you, which is this bank, bank 1, where the code says. It's usually around your PCV valve and hose, but I didn't find any vacuum leaks over here on bank 1. So I'm going to clean the mass airflow sensor with, wait for it, mass airflow sensor cleaner. And the mass airflow sensor on the 5.4 liter Triton V8 Ford is right in here. So now we're going to get to work on that. So first things first, we take a flat screwdriver and we're going to go ahead and take off a clamp. Okay, so we're going to loosen up our clamp. As you can see, okay, now we're going to separate from the air cleaner, which is in here. We're going to separate it. But before we separate, we're going to take our mass airflow sensor connector off. We're going to take this and pop it off. Okay? Okay, it is popped off. Now we will separate. Keep them separated. Right there is the mass airflow sensor. Right there. What that does, I'm turning it, see? What that does is it sends a signal to the computer about the amount of air coming in to the engine. Then your O2 sensors, all 4 of them, 2 on your exhaust pipe before the catalytic converter and 2 on your exhaust pipe after the catalytic converter, meter how much airflow is going out of the engine. If there's more airflow going out the exhaust than is being metered coming in by this, it's saying somewhere in this engine air is getting in, it's not supposed to, sends a signal to the computer, which puts the check engine light on and gives you the code. So if this is dirty, it's not metering all the air coming in, which is not matching up with what's going out. So we are going to spray this clean, and you need to use a mass airflow sensor cleaner, because if you use something else, you can damage the sensor itself. So mass airflow sensor cleaner is strong enough to clean it, but mild enough to not damage it. So we're going to spray some on there. So here we go. We'll turn it. Get the other side. That's usually not the problem, but we've got the stuff, so let's just do it anyway. So now we're just going to go ahead and put it back together. So we'll reconnect this to this. We'll tighten our clamp and we'll snap our plug back on. Alright, so we've got connected, clamp back tight. I'm going to pop our plug back on. It's just a simple plug. Snap it back on. Then our next step is to clear out the code. Our trusty gauge, we're going to plug it in and clear out the code. Alrighty, just to let you know, we've got all kinds of codes that are coming up on my computer saying all kinds of stuff. Pretty much it boils down to major vacuum leaks, bank 1, bank 2, yada yada yada. PO171, oh geez, I don't even know. Let's go into the office and see here. I wrote some of them down. P1131, P1151, PO174, PO171. Okay, so I'm getting all these codes on my meter. Now that's telling me I got the major vacuum leaks. I already pulled off the Triton 5.4 liter cover, so I can get down in here. And searching, I used a little bit of mass airflow sensor cleaner because I ran out of starting fluid, which I sprayed back in here, and my engine idle back in here, and my engine idle picked up. So it wasn't running rough when I was spraying it. At first I thought the first hose that I replaced when it first happened, this one right here, was leaking at right there where I put that clamp on. I put a clamp on it and it was still doing it. So I decided to check deeper. Come to find out, well, there's my PCV valve. Let's go against the light here so you can see. There's my PCV valve, and this is the PCV line. Okay, at first I found this. That hole will do it. But look closer, and we got, oops. I'm going to replace that because it looks like it got a crack in there. Right there. Right there. Looks like that's going to go. And this broke off, which meant it was rotted. See that? And this is going to be the problem, because this goes all the way dead center in the back. I might have to pull off my entire throttle body to get to it. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to try to figure it out. And it connects to here. That goes all the way in the back. This goes in like this. This goes all the way back here into the back. My PCV valve goes in my valve cover. And then this connects, this here will connect to right here once I get that squared away. So I'm going to replace those hoses right there right now and see if I can get the one off in the back. I could if I can get my thumb on there, but I can only get a forefinger on it, and it's not going to work with just a forefinger. I need an opposing thumb, so I have to figure that out. I got that code again, PO171, PO174. Now I put new hoses on this whole PCV system and clamps, and as you can see, I got the cover off the engine right now. Okay, and now I'm trying to figure out where my vacuum leak is. It has to be in this PCV system. And I'm looking through here. I just sprayed, of course, your starting fluid. But every time I sprayed it, I couldn't get the idle to pick up. Until I sprayed generally. All over. And I'm finding I forgot to change out one of these hoses right here. This one. So I'm going to take this hose here, from here down to that clamp there, off. And I'm going to replace it with another piece of hose and clamps. And see if that fixes my problem. That's the last piece of hose of this positive crankcase ventilation system that I have yet to change and revamp with brand new stuff. That has to be the cause. It's the only thing left. So let's get to it. I'm going to take pliers to pull this clamp off here and a screwdriver to get that clamp off down there. Then I'm going to replace it with a piece of hose, which I have hoses right up here. Alrighty. So let's go ahead and get that hose off, and it'll be the next video. I took it off right there. Actually, it's better if I... right there. That's where I took it off of. Okay. Now I gotta take that clamp off, and I'm gonna replace this hose. Okay. I got a big piece of hose. I got it on back there. I don't know if you can see. Let me use the screwdriver to point it out. This hose here, okay, I put that adapter in. I need the adapter because the hose where it goes on in the back is much bigger than the regular PVC hose. So I put a clamp on it just in case. Now if you follow it back there, it goes back there and it goes into the back. Okay. Getting my hands back in there and getting that hose put on in the back is almost impossible. But that's the hard part, and I got that much of it done. Okay, it's got a little kink in the hose. I hope that's going to be okay to work. Alright, because I don't have the elbow. I'm rigging this. Now I'm going to take this and this hose. Actually, I'll make that elbows out of that. But that hose there. And I'm going to make it where I'm bypassing the plastic line. I'm bypassing this. Okay. Because this was back there. Like that. Okay, so now I'm going to bypass that. And I'm going to connect the hose, that hose over there, onto there. And I'm going to bring it around to an elbow here. I'm going to make from this hose here. And that's where we're going with this. Okay, you can see the shiny new clamp down there and a clean new hose. Clamp there, and a clamp back there. And there's the hose. Better angle of it. Right here's the new clamp, new piece of hose, and then the other new clamp right there. Alright, that's the only piece I have not replaced yet. Well, now it's replaced. So what we're going to do is fire up the truck, see how smooth she runs, and then we will reset the engine code, the check engine. So let's see. There's the check engine, right? Gotta reset that yet. Seems to be running smoother. baby smooth and purring. So let's go on in here. First thing we're going to do is we're going to shut this down. Then we're going to pull out my miniature gauge reader code thingy, and we go down here under the dash. And my arm steering wheel's in the way. And we're going to plug it in right to there. There, it's plugged in. Now we're going to read. You got to turn the key on. Okay, see, it says P0171 and P0174. That means burning lean. I mean rich. It's burning rich. Which means it's getting too much fuel, not enough. It's getting too much air is getting into the system pretty much, which means more air is leaving the system than is what's coming through metered at the mass airflow sensor, which is the front part of the before the intake there. So somewhere inside the engine is getting more air is being sucked in. So the computer puts a check engine light up. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to reset these codes. And we're going to put out the check engine light. Here we go. So the check engine light should go out when I start the truck. Alright, check engine light out. Code reader's reading 0 codes. Everything's operational. Everything's got to be reset. Take a little bit of driving and we'll check it again. But that's how we do that. What do you want for what we got here now? 181,855 miles. No, my stereo's not in. There's my stereo. I'll put that in later. Alright, so she's running smooth. Nice steady 700 RPM there. Well, 7,000, excuse me. 700 I should say. 7,000 I'd be way out of there. Sorry, I'm looking at something else and reading something else over here. So we got a good, well, yeah, 700 RPM is what it's sitting at. Alrighty, so let's see how well that lasts. Alright, I had a P0171 code. Tells me it's burning too rich. And I didn't do a video of any of what I just did. But it was burning too rich, P0171, which means there's a vacuum leak. I figured my vacuum leak was going to be exactly where I found it, and that was way back there. Way back here on the back of the engine, there's an elbow that goes like that and into a vacuum on the top of the back of the engine. Okay, and then comes out to this plastic piece right here. Okay, now last time when I did that, I couldn't find the elbow, nobody had it, so I rigged it with hose. But the hose expanded. It was little kinked back in there where it came off the engine this way and then had to come over 90 degrees. It was a little kinked, but that wasn't a problem. It was the hose expanded with the heat of the engine and was letting too much air between where it goes into the engine and the little nipple sticking out of the back. So I figured that was where I did not want it is where it was going to be. So I pulled the hose off, got my original plastic tubing with that white on it. That's the plastic tubing. And then I found the elbow that I needed, because it's like 1/2 inch inside diameter on one end of the elbow and 3/8 diameter on the other end of the elbow, and they're hard to find. But I got it, found it, and I replaced it. Got my hand back under there. You try getting your hand under there. Of course, I had this off. So you get your hand all the way back in there between that firewall and the back of the engine there, and push towards the front of the engine to get it on there. But then I put the hose on for my PCV system. I put my clamps on it and reset the engine code, and now she's running smooth again. But that in itself took me normally 2 weeks. With the gas prices the way they are, I'd put about $43 worth of gas in this after 2 weeks. And this time I just put gas in it. I put almost $54 worth of gas in it. So that's how much fuel, how rich it was burning, how much gas mileage I was losing. Now it's back there, it's idling smoothly, and that part is fixed. Total cost, you're talking maybe at a shop about 500 bucks. Total cost to me was like $1. Well, I got some clamps I didn't need to get. I just got in case I needed them. I put them on anyway. So the clamps were like $3. The elbow was like under $2. So just say $5, and it took me about 20 minutes to do. So say $500. And there you go, there's the video. Alright, now I did fix that P0171 code, the vacuum leak. I did get it. What I had done, I rigged up all that hosing just because I wanted to make sure that it was the PVC system. Okay? PCV system, I'm sorry, PVC is polyvinyl chloride, the white piping that you get for plumbing. PCV is positive crankcase ventilation. I always mix those up. But anyway. I figured it was that system, so I decided, let's see what I got around here. It's not going to cost me money to make sure that that's the problem. And when I rigged everything up with all the different hoses, yada, 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 it fixed it all. There was no more issues. So I ran it like that for a little while until I went to Ford dealership and I ordered the entire apparatus, the factory apparatus. And then I pulled off all my hoses that I put on. I replaced everything with the factory apparatus with brand new lines. And then fired her up, and I ain't never had the problem since. So it was the positive crankcase ventilation system. So there you go. That's how you fix it. It's simple. And that's how you get tested without spending money. All right. Yeah, you fire up the vehicle, and it's running rough because it's getting too much air in the system. You take your starting fluid, or mass airflow cleaner, or brake cleaner, any of that stuff that's flammable, and you start spraying around your vacuum lines. As soon as that idle picks up, you know there's a vacuum leak over in that area. And then you just search it down with your eyes and your fingers and look for cracks and holes. And then replace it. That's how simple it is. Alright? So there you go. That was all fixed. So we got that taken care of. Well, stay tuned for the next video. We got a lot more stuff coming up.